In the last class we have learned about the nested class, nested methods. Now we are going to be learning the concept of nesting of class. So what is the nesting of a class? Any class is placed within another class is called as a nested class. Okay, any class is placed within another class is called as nested class. So let you see this program, you are going to be understanding this concept. Here class outer. In the outer class we are declaring the variable int outer x of is equal to 100, and here we have declared the variable and we have initialized the value as 100. Void test. In the void test, then you are seeing you are creating another class object. We will see what is that another class. Inner class. I am creating the object name as an inner. Okay, how we are saying it is a object creation? Because we are saying the new. Okay, afterwards inner dot display, whatever the method is exist in that inner class, we are calling that method. Now here the outer class will ends and we are moving to the inner class. Inner class inner void display, we are calling the display method. In this display method we are calling outer x value. Okay, so why we are calling that outer class variable? Whether it is possible? Yes, it is possible, because we are calling this variable through from this class. Okay, and here it comes the method end as well as the class end, and here it comes outer class end. Please observe here, in the outer class we have mentioned the inner class, in the class outer we have mentioned the class inner, so here it is ending. So what is our concept? Class within class is called as nested class. Okay, so afterwards we are defining one more class. Whether this class outer and class inner consist of a main method? No, right? So in the same program I am writing class inner class demo. In that we are defining the main method. Public static void main string works is a main method, and I am creating the object of outer class. The name of the object is outer. Whenever you are creating that outer, it will be automatically initialized, and calling that outer dot test. Here void test method will be called. In this we are having one more class object, it will be created, and we are calling this inner dot display method. In the inner dot display method we are displaying the value of variable outer hyphen x. Okay, so it will display outer hyphen underscore x is equal to 100. Let me explain this program by copying in our notepad. Yes, I'm pasting and I'm pasting. Okay, I have copied and I'm pasting now. Okay, so this is our program. So then how to save this program? Inner class demo. I'm copying and I'm giving and I'm saving. Okay, while saving you should ensure that you are saving in correct folder. So what is our folder? In C drive, JDK 1.4 and bin. So then how to save it? With inner class demo dot java. If already the file is exist, it will be replaced. Okay, yes, just click the replace. Clear? Yes, now we want to run that program. So to run that program we have to take the editor. So to take the editor we have to go to the run command, and we have to take the run prompt as a run command. We have taken the prompt editor, and now I'm pressing the enter. Yes, first you are seeing here our editor as in prompt it is showing default directory. To exit from the default directory, what we have to do? cd slash. Now we have to log in into our directory. What is our directory? cd jdk 1.4 slash bin. Now we have to compile our file javac inner demo dot java, right? So I think it is wrong. Let me check. Inner class demo. Okay, it is inner class demo. Okay, let me check. javac inner class demo dot java. Is there any mistake? No mistake. Now I am running java inner class demo. So it is showing an error. Let me check why it is. Okay, what is the error? Java inner class demo exception in main thread. So it is requiring some packages. That is why whenever you are doing this program, we have to add the header files. These are the packages here. Import java.io.star and import java.lang.star. This is supposed to be give while doing your program. Save it, come here to CMD editor. Once again, what you have to supposed to do, you have to compile it. Before running, you have to compile. So afterwards, you have to run. So still it is having an error. It is showing as an error. Why? Lang not found. Java inner class demo. Inner class demo.java. Inner class demo. Exception. Let me try. Alt enter. Here is our main method. I am taking here throws exception. Throws exception. Let me save it. Okay, I got it. Please observe here, while saving C should be capital. Okay, yes, we have not done. I'm pressing the alt enter, and once again I'm compiling. While compiling, we have to take Java C inner class demo.java. Yes, no error. Java inner class demo. So now it is displaying the output. Got it? What is the mistake we have done? While saving, C is made as a small, hence it is showing as runtime error. Got it? Please observe here. Yes. So that's it. So this is your program, and we will move to our next topic. That next topic is also very important topic. This question is asked in some of our question paper. We don't know which question will be asked, so this is a very important question. Variable length arguments. Variable length arguments short form is called as var_args basics. So you can pass n number of arguments. You can pass n number of arguments to a method by using this short form of var_args. This feature is available in your Java. So by using this var_args, you can pass any number of arguments in a method. According to that method call, it will take the parameter as n numbers. Okay, so then how to identify this variable length arguments? This can be possible by using in your method. If it consists of 3 dots, then it is a var_args method. var_args length. Okay, variable length arguments. So in the next example, you are identifying this sample example related to the var_args basics. So here we are seeing the sample program. Okay, now let us see class var_args. What is the name of the class? var_args. In this, I am taking void va test as a static method. If it is a static, whether you can get any main method? No. Yes, we will get a main method, but we don't have any object creations. Okay, so that is the importance. A static void va test. In the parameter, what we are doing? Int followed by 3 dots. If you are using the 3 dots, means it is a var arguments, and here we are using the parameter. Okay, so now I am displaying the output. Number of args is v dot length. So this is the argument, right? So how many arguments you have supplied, according to that supplication, the length will be identified. So v dot length means number of arguments will be displayed. Now I am displaying the content. For displaying, I am writing the for loop. For int I is equal to 0, I less than v dot length, condition true. If the condition is true, I am displaying the value of arg I at v of 0th location. Whatever the 0th location value is exist, it will be displayed, and it will be continue according to your supply, according to your parameter supply in your methods. Okay, so here the for loop ends. Now I am writing the main method in the same program, that is public static void main string args. Now in this main method I am calling that va test method. While calling that test method, how many arguments are there? Only one arguments, right? That is the 10. So 10 will be passed. Here it will identify 1. So in 0th location, v of 0th location, what value it is exist? It will display as 10. Okay. Once again, I am calling the VA test by supplying 3 parameters. If I supply the 3 parameters, the length will be taken as a 3 here, and it starts at 0 and ends at n minus 1. Now in v of 0 location, value 1, v of 2 location it is 2, v of 2 location it is 3 will be exist. Afterwards condition false, it will skip. And now VA test no constructor, no parameters, so it is 0 parameter, it will be taken as 0 and display the content as 0. Okay, now you will see the output here. Whenever you call the first VA test method, we have supplied one argument, that argument is 10. While calling second time VA test, we have supplied 3 arguments, that is args0 1, args1 as a 2, args2 as a 3. And whenever we call the VA test method, we have supplied 0 arguments, the contents are nil. Got it? So likewise this program will be executed. Okay, and that's it. This is the end of chapter 8. We will move to the chapter 9. Okay, now we will move to the chapter 9. Let me open the slide. So in the chapter 8, what we have learned? We have learned the fundamentals of class. What is a class? What is an object? How to create the class and how to create objects, and what is the constructor? What is the method overloading? What is the method overloading, as well as passing the object as an argument, constructor overloading, method overloading. All these are the very important topic. And written object, recursion, nested class, inner methods, all we have learned in this chapter. Okay, now we are moving to the chapter 9. This is also very important concept. This concept is inheritance. Already you are familiar with inheritance. What is an inheritance? Yes, accessing the properties of base class. Base class means parent class. Okay, by the child class. So why we are accessing? Because to develop a new thing. If we want to develop a new thing, we have to access the properties of old things, and we have to modify that, and we have to supply a new things, and we have to design a new product. Okay, so this is the mechanism behind the inheritance. The mechanism of deriving a new class from an old one is called as inheritance. This is the mechanism we are going to be using. Then old class is always called as base class or super class or parent class. The old class is always called as base class or parent class or super class. Yes, sir. Now let us see the basics of inheritance. The old class is called as base class or super class or parent class. The new class one is called as a subclass or derived class or child class. Then how to identify inheritance in Java? If you are implementing the Java program, if you are accessing one class property in another class, then you have to suppose to use the keyword called extends. You have to suppose to use the keyword called extends. Okay, so if you are using the extends means, then you are implementing this inheritance concept. So to understanding this concept, let us see a sample example. Here the class A is called the superclass and B is called the subclass, child class. Then you are identifying how we are inheriting class A in class B. Okay, now let us see. So to understand this, here we are having a sample program. Please observe here class A. In this class A, what I am doing, I have declared two variables int I comma j and void show ij. Okay, void show ij, I am displaying the value of I and j. Here the method ends, show ij method ends, here the class A ends. Now I am writing the class B. Class B, I am using the keyword extends A. Then what does it mean? B is inheriting the properties of A. B is inheriting the properties of A. So how you can say that? Because we are using the keyword extends. Extends means it inherits the properties of base class. Okay, so whatever the variables, whatever the method is exist, B will be accessible. In B, class B, I am defining one more variable, that is int k, and one more method void show k, and I am displaying the k value in this void show k method, void system.out.println k. Okay, and now in this class B I am using one more method. The name of the method is the sum system.out.println I plus j plus k. Then I am doing the summation of I plus j plus k. I, j values are existing base class, so because of inheritance you can directly access in your B class and you are processing I plus j plus k. Okay, here the class B ends. Whether in class A and class B is there any main method? No. Now I am writing one more class. The name of the class is simple inheritance. In this main method is exist. So public static void main string argsaw is a main method. Here I am creating the object of a superclass. What is the name of a superclass? A. For that I am creating superob as the name of the object. And for the class B is the child class. For child class I am creating the subob. For child class I am creating the object as subob. Okay. And now super object dot I. You are accessing this variable and I am assigning the value as a 10. Okay, and next super object dot j, it is a 20, so you are accessing the value of j as 20. And now you are displaying the content of super ob dot show ij. In show ij method you are displaying I value as well as j value, that is 10 and 20, right? 10 and 20 is displaying. Now I am calling. Afterwards I am using one new line. After new line, please observe the program has not ended. Here it comes. Now I am accessing subobject.I. So subobject is the name of the object. Through from the child class I am accessing the I value as a 7, and subobject.j I am accessing the value as 8. Subobject.k, here the k variable is there. I am accessing I am giving the value as 9, so I can access. And now I am displaying the content of show ij. So if you want to display ij value, you have to call the method show ij of a base class, so it will give as 7 and 8. And if you want to display the value of k, you have to call the show k method of subobject. Afterwards, if you want to display the sum of I plus j plus k, then you have to call subobject of sum method. Okay, so if you execute this program, you are getting the output like this. Okay, now I will show you how to execute this program. Let me copy this first program. Okay, I'm copying and I'm taking the notepad. Hope you are understanding how to take the notepad, right? Notepad, and I'm pasting. I have pasted this much of a content. This is our next content, right? I'm copying this. Here the subclass has access. Output is not required. I'm copied and pasting here. So it is always better to place import java.io.star package and import java.lang.star package. Okay, these are the header files. It is always better to use, and we have to save it. How to save this file? Where is the main method? It is in simple inheritance. Okay, I have to copy this and go to the file and save it and press it .java while saving that. And also you have to ensure that we are saving right directory. Okay, I'm saving. If it is already exist, save it and alt enter. And now I'm going to taking your command prompt. So how to take the command prompt? Right click on the start button, take the run and type the cmd DOS mode. Okay, alt enter. If I enter, here it is showing the default directory. In the default directory, you have to log out from the default directory and log in into your directory. What is your directory? 1.4/bin. Okay, now compile your program. Simple inheritance, right? Inheritance.java. Is it our program? Yes, there is no error. Java simple inheritance. So this is your program. Got it? So whenever you executed through from subclasses, you have supplied ij value as a 7, 8 and k value as a 9. For a super object, you have supplied it as a 10 and 20. Clear? Yes. Likewise, your program will be evaluated. Okay. Now let me go to your PPT. Yes, this is your concept. And now here you are seeing the general form of inheritance. Then what is the syntax? The syntax is class followed by the subclass name followed by the extends. If you are using the extends keywords means you are inheriting, okay, and followed by the superclass name is must. We have to give some space, okay. Body of the class, whatever the implementation part you will make. And next our concept is member access and inheritance. Suppose we are familiar with modifier access specifiers. If you specify it as a private, you are unable to access. If it is make as a public, you can access from anywhere. If it is a protected, it is a in between public and private, right? Got it. So here the access specifier is the first I am taking it as a private. If I made a class as a private, then what happens? If I made a class as a private, then you are unable to access. Let me understand this concept by using a sample program. Class A int I. Okay. Here class A I am starting and I am taking the int I. Now I am taking the variable private int j. So it is a private variable. You are unable to access outside of the class. You are unable to access outside of the class. Now I am taking void set ij int x comma y. In I am storing x value, in j I am storing y value. Afterwards, I am writing class B extends A, means class B is inheriting the features of class A. Here into total void sum method I am using. In total I plus j I want to supposed to do, but j is the private variable, it is unable to access. Okay, already I clearly mentioned j error, j is not accessible because it is a private variable. We can access only within this class, you can't access outside of this class. And now I'm writing the main method class access. Here the public static void main method is there. For the class B I'm creating the object. You should always create the object of child class. Through from child you have to access the base class, okay. Afterwards subobject dot set ij. So you are calling the base class method. Whenever you are calling, it is supposed to work, but here it is not working because of j is accessed outside of the class. So hence it gives an error, hence this program won't execute, okay. Now we will see some more examples. Our next concept, uh, yes, in this example we have seen that access is specifiers. Now our next concept is constructors. So we can also implement the constructors in inheritance, okay. This is one of a very important topic. So many questions as asked in this chapter, okay. Let us see how to define the constructor in base class as well as subclass. If I am using the constructors in base class and subclass, so then how subclasses are accessing this constructor through from base subclasses, okay. So this is a very important topic. Let me see a sample example. Here the sample example is exist. This is a box, okay. Class box. In box we are defining double width, height and depth. So afterwards I am using the constructor. What is the name of the constructor? Box. How you can say it is a constructor? Because within the name of the class I am defining the method, right? And also I am passing here object as a parameter, okay. What I am passing as an argument? I am passing an argument as an object. Width is equal to ob dot width, height is equal to ob dot height, depth is equal to ob dot depth. So here whatever the variable you have specified, through from this object you are assigning that value to this constructor. And one more constructor I am taking with different parameters, double w, double h, double d. Here I am supplying the parameters, and whatever the variable you are assigned, I am initializing with these parameters. And one more constructor, it is a default constructor with no arguments. It is called as default constructor without arguments. Then you are assigning width is equal to -1, height is equal to -1 and depth is equal to -1. And one more constructor, see, please observe here, this is the constructor overloading. This is also one of my best example for constructor overloading. Here box double length is there, width is equal to, height is equal to, length is equal to. I'm giving the whatever the parameter I'm using, I'm supplying that parameter to all these variables. Here the constructor ends, and one more method I am taking, that is a volume method. Double volume, it is not a constructor, okay. How you can say? Because it is a return type. As we know, the box is box in the sense, suppose if if you have attended any software jobs, in future also it may ask, they will ask explain this classroom as a box. Then you have to supposed to take these variables and you have to calculate the formula as width into height into depth. Okay, length into breadth into height. So this is the formula for area of a box. Whoever calling this method, it will returns. Here the class ends. Which class has end? Here the box class has. Now please observe here, class box weight. I'm taking another class. It is extends. Extends means it is inheriting. Which class of features it is inheriting? It is inheriting the features of box. Okay, here also I'm mentioning one more variable related to the weight. Okay, double weight, and I'm constructing the constructor. Okay, here the constructor is there, here the constructor is there. Whenever this class is inheriting, in that constructor you have to supposed to supply these parameters. Okay, so here double w double h double d is of a base class constructor because it is inheriting. So through from this you are initializing these parameters. Okay, these constructors. And I'm taking one more parameter double m, because for this variable here width is equal to w, height is equal to h, depth is equal to d, and weight is equal to m. We are initialized. Here the class box weight as end. How we can say, here the box weight ends, here the class box weight as end. Okay, here the constructor ends and here the class ends. And now is there in these two class, is there any main method? No. Now I'm writing one more class, that is a box demo box weight. We are taking the main method. In the main method I'm creating the object for subclasses. What is the name of the subclass? Box weight. For this box weight I'm creating the object my box1. Whenever I'm creating, I'm supplying the 4 parameters. These 4 parameters will automatically initialize here. Whenever it is initializing, automatically these constructors are initialized, because we are using the constructor concept. Through from child class, base class constructors are initialized. Okay, now box weight, my box2 is the another object. We are passing the arguments. Why we have to supposed to pass the arguments at the time of creation? Because we are using the constructor. Then what is the constructor? Constructor is a special method which is automatically initialized whenever an object of a class is created. So whenever you are creating the object, that constructor parameters are also you have to supposed to supply. Now I'm taking one more variable, double volume. Volume is equal to my box1 dot volume. So here it consists of a volume here. Through from box weight I can access this method because it is inheriting the features of box. Okay, now I'm displaying the volume, my box1 dot volume, length into breadth into height. This is right, 10 into 20 10 into 20 into 15, some value will comes that will be stored in your volume and your display. Then what is the my box1 weight? That is a 34.3 grams or kgs. Okay, afterwards I am taking the same variable and I am processing with another object, my box2 dot volume. So you are using the second object and you are supplying these values. Whenever you are supplying length, breadth, height, 2 into 3 into 4 will be processed and it will be displayed, and its weight is 0.076. It may be either gram or kilogram. So here you are seeing clearly the output. So if you want to run this program, let me show the execution of this program. Okay, I'm copying first, Control C. Let me take, how to take the notepad? Right click on start button, run notepad and paste it. Okay, yes, I'm coming here. Here the program doesn't ends. I'm copying in the same notepad. Okay, I'm pasting. Okay, here also program is not ended, it has moved in a next slide. I'm copying and I'm pasting. Okay, afterwards I am pasting. So then how to save this file? We have to see wherever the main method is exist. So demo box weight is having main method, right? We have to save this program with demo box weight. Go to the file and you have to save it. Okay, while saving you should ensure that you are saving in JDK 1.4 bin directory, and in the file name you have to suppose to give box void demo box void dot java and press the enter key. So afterwards, now you have to take your command prompt. Already command prompt is open, already I am logged in, right? Otherwise let me close this file by typing exit. Now I'm taking my file. How to take the command prompt? Go to the run and type cmd. Here you are getting default directory, so you log out from the default directory and log in your directory jdk 1.4/bin. Okay, now press the alt enter key. Now you are seeing, now compile your file java c. What is the name of the file? Demo box wait, right? Demo box wait. So demoboxwigt.java. Is there any error? No error. So I didn't find any error. Directly I am running my program demo box wait. So it is directly displaying the output. Got it? So it is showing volume of a box as well as weight of a box. Clear? So likewise you can evaluate it. Okay. And now I am moving to the next concept. That is a very important concept. This question has been asked for 5 to 6 marks. So this is a very important question. So this will be also asked for the Viva question. This is the super method. What is the purpose of super method? The purpose of super method is supplying the arguments to the base class constructor. Supplying the arguments to the base class constructor. Then where we are placing this super method? In subclass. Okay, in subclass constructor. So you can call superclass constructor through from subclass. Then this concept is called as super method. What is the purpose of super method? To call the base class constructor from the subclass is called as super method. To call the base class constructor from subclass. Subclass means child class. Through from child class, what you are doing? You are calling the base class constructor. Okay. So to do the like that, we have to suppose to use super method. Now we will see a sample example classroom. As we know, what is the area of a room? Length into breadth. Okay, so you have to suppose to note it, because if you are attending for interviews, software software job related interviews, they will ask, if you are say I know Java, then they will ask these kinds of a question in interviews. Okay, so classroom, I am defining the variable int length comma breadth. Now I am defining the constructor. Then how you can say it is a constructor? With the name of the class you are defining the method, right? So then it is the constructor. We are taking two parameters because of we have declared the two variables. So in the first variable I am storing the first parameter. In the second variable I am storing the second parameter. Afterwards we have to process int area. So here area you are processing length into breadth. Okay, so that is the area of a room, the area of a rectangle. Got it? So here the class room ends. The program is not finished. Here it is continuous. Now we are creating one more class. That one more class is, name of the class is bedroom. Here we are taking it as an extents. So if we are taking the bedroom in the sense, then we have to suppose to treat it as a room in the shape of box. Then what is the formula of a box? Length into breadth into height. Okay, so now class bedroom extends. Extends means inheriting. Which class features it is inheriting? Room class. Okay, so now I am taking int height. Now I am constructing one more constructor. Please observe here. So in constructor I am taking here only one variable is there, but I am taking three parameters. Why? Because in base class also constructor is exists. So to initialize the base class constructor from the subclass, we have to suppose to use super method. Okay, so that is why we are taking three parameters, int x, int y, int z. So this z is for this variable height. Height is equal to z. Here you are seeing super method, super of x comma y, super of x comma y. Okay, if you see here super of x comma y, through from, this is a subclass, right? Through from subclass, this base class constructor is initialized. I'm passing the argument of base class constructor through from subclass. Okay, now I'm taking the one more method, int volume. In the volume you are processing return length into breadth into height. So you are returning the value of area of a box, that is length into breadth into height. Okay, here the class ends. We are starting one more class. Is there in two classes is there any main method? No. So that is why we are constructing one more class. That class is inner test, in which we are writing main method, public static void main. So it is a main method and you are creating the object of a bedroom class. Please observe here, what is bedroom? Subclass. For that you are creating the object. What is the name of the object? Room 1. You are creating, while creating you are supplying the value. Why? Because you are using the concept of constructor. Then what is a constructor? A constructor is a special method which is automatically initialized whenever an object is created. Object creation, it is initialized, right? 14 12 10 automatically xyz will be initialized. Here super x comma y is there, so through from this x comma y is initialized. Okay, now I'm taking one more variable int area1. Through that the variable I'm calling that area method. Where is the area method exist? Area method is exist in your room class. So it will process length into breadth and it will be stored in your area1. If I and I'm taking one more variable, that is volume1. I'm calling room1 dot volume method. So volume method is exist in your bedroom. So through from this length into breadth into height, it will be processed 14 into 12 into 10 and the result will be stored in your volume. Okay, whoever is calling, the value will be returning. Clear? That is the usage of return statement. Now you are displaying the value of area 1 as well as volume 1. Let me explain the execution of this program. I'm copying this program. I'm taking my notepad. Already I'm opening. Okay, let me take a new file. I'm pasting. This is the class bed classroom. Now I'm coming back. Don't give the space. Sometimes the spaces are also creating a problem. And I'm copying this program. Okay, yes, I'm copying and I'm pasting. Is there any mistakes? These are the mistakes. Double quotation should be always like this in notepad. Okay, otherwise it will give an error. Now we have to save. How to save this file? Inner test. I'm copying inner test and I'm going file, and while file, what I have to ensure? I have to ensure that we have to saving this file in right folder, that is JDK 1.4 bin folder. Okay, I'm pasting .java. Inner test .java path does not exist. Okay, let me yes, here it is mistake. I'm removing that inner test.java. I'm saving. Yes, it has saved. Okay, now let me open my command prompt. Already it is minimized. I'm pressing enter. Now I want to compile my file. How to compile my file? Java C space. What is the name of the program? Inner test.java. So it consists of some mistakes. This is because of a spaces exist in our file, so we have to modify that spaces. Okay, let me do that first. Wherever the space. Before that, it is always better to write this import statement. These header files are required. Let me import java.lang.star semicolon classroom. Let me check, is there any space? No space. Right, here is the space. Yes, no space. It is correct. Here it is correct. Here it is correct. Here it is correct. Maybe here the space exists. Okay, okay, now no space. Now let me check here. No space. Yes, it is corrected. Now I am saving once again. I'm coming my editor. I'm compiling. Let me check. Java C inner test. Now it is not having any errors. Okay, now let me run this program. Java inner test. So it is giving area as well as volume. Clear? Yes. And let me come to the PowerPoint. And what is the next topic? And our next topic is using super to access superclass members. So you can use the keyword super. By using this super, you can access the members of a superclass also. By using the keyword super, you can also access the members of base class. Okay, so by using the method, what you are doing, you are calling the base class constructor. By using the super method, by using the super keyword, you can access the member variable of base class also through from subclass. Through from subclass only you can access the base class members. Okay, so that is the concept. To understand this concept, please observe here. Class A, I am having one variable I. Okay, class B extends A. Then what does it mean? Class B is inheriting the concept of A. Now int I is there. Okay, this high hides in the I in A. Please observe here. Here also high, here also high. Now I am defining int A comma B. Defining the constructor B constructor int A comma B. Here one argument is there, here one argument is there. For accessing this variable through from this constructor member, I am using the super dot I is equal to A. Super dot I means it will access A. I is equal to B. There whatever the variable I you have taken, you are assigning the parameter as B.